Hey guys! Yes, I'm filming on my laptop again. It's like my third video doing that because I'm trash. Oh, I hate myself. But I kind of wanted to talk about something that I've been seeing a lot recently on YouTube lately, and I'm actually glad that I'm seeing it on YouTube because it's something I have noticed for such a long time, and not even just on YouTube. I think on social media and TV in general, and a lot of the channels that I grew up watching. Also, I apologize for the background. It's been a wild midterm season, so my room literally reflects my mental state, which is like, well. But I kind of wanted to talk about, and as you'll see in this title of the video, talking a little bit, really briefly and quickly about my perception of diversity, on social media. I kind of built around this channel being about fashion and things. And, when you think about fashion, diversity in fashion is always really hard. When you think about models, you know, we are in a stage, I think we are in a more body positive field or a body positive mindset now, but there are limitations to that body positivity. I think we've come out of the idea of everyone has to be very slim, very tiny, but also we still kind of want certain aspects. Like you can have the big boobs or the big butt and you can have that curve, but you want the tiny waist. So there's still aspects of what, is considered thin culture. I don't even want to say thin culture because, that might not be reputable, but aspects of, what we had as, what we had thought as beauty standards with, being thin, we still see some of that today. I've been kind of, in a sense, kind of on a fitness journey. It's always been something I've been wanting to take care of more. Coming to college, wow, I need to stop touching my hair. Ah! So, honestly, this is what I get for trying to film a video at like 10:30 at night after like having no sleep this entire week. Well, enjoy my awkwardness. Bye. There are times I just like scroll through my Instagram and I see all these like fashion or these fitness Instagram influencers, and their bodies are just something I don't think I can get. And sometimes you feel bad about that. I think there still is a standard that, like there is still a standard where it's not only just about being thin, and it is about taking care of your health. Like agree that health is something that's really important and we need to focus on. Sorry, my hair is getting twisted in my glasses. But like, I think you don't have to have a big butt with a super tiny waist to be healthy. Being healthy means you're taking care of yourself. Maybe going out, working out, self care. Doing a face mask, eating healthy foods, being around people and being in a positive environment. That is just as healthy. And I think that's something that maybe we're losing. But that's a whole nother topic. I also want to just, I don't want to spend too much time when I am studying for midterm still. I wanted to talk specifically, if you guys haven't heard, and I'm kind of talking about this in, a very relevant time. So there's this YouTuber, her name is Danielle Perkins, and she's actually on a Nickelodeon show. And I think she's a really, really great YouTuber. She's really nice, really, really sweet. But she talked a lot about her recent trip to Coachella with Dote, which is a company that kind of I think it's an app that you can kind of connect to a lot of stores and you can purchase through there. But they've received a lot of controversy in regards to like how they had formatted the Coachella trip, where I think a lot of the POC participants were in one room versus the non POC were in another room, and sort of separating in that. I have a tendency to use terms that maybe you guys may not know. So just to give you guys some extra context, POC means a person of color. If I say fly or figly, that is first generation, low income, and the minority underrepresented. You get the hint. All right, back to video. I'm a small YouTuber. I can't even call myself a YouTuber. I'm just someone who makes videos. Like, there are like 10 people, like 3 people who actually probably care and watch. But, to those 3 people that care and watch, I want to create an image to where, I can appeal to people, but I'm appealing to people because of who I am. And appealing to people, that's going to have to deal with, that's going to deal with, where I'm from, the way I talk, my background, my skin color, my identities. And, I think I feel very proud of my identities. I'm very proud to be Black. I'm very proud to be a first generation low income college student. And I take that with me and I wear that everywhere I go. And I have no shame about it. What I do realize, on social media, we don't see as much conversation, or we don't see as much popularity of people who come from those sort of, underrepresented backgrounds. We hear about it and we praise it, but do we see that same reception, and do we see that same support really on social media on a larger scale from these large companies and these large entities like YouTube and like the companies that work with YouTube and its, like its content creators? And that even goes beyond YouTube, Instagram as well. Any sort of social media aspect or a social media account, do we see that? Are these major companies working with, what the target of their idea of diversity and inclusion? Are they working with people who really fit that model? And even in that, I think what Daniel Perks mentioned in a comment was even what do like the layers of that look like? And from a racial standard, that goes down to colorism. That goes down to, I'm a dark skinned African American woman. So I don't see many of that, on social media. I really don't. And, a lot of the popular YouTubers who, are Black, the reality is many of them aren't dark skinned. Also, I don't want anyone to think that I'm like saying if you're a light skinned Black individual on YouTube, then like fuck you. No, Black girls unite, we're all together. But I definitely want to bring awareness that there is colorism in YouTube and colorism in social media in general. And I think a lot of YouTubers are aware of that who are light skinned, and they do talk about that, and that is something I very appreciate that people are open and aware to see. It's hard to be dark skinned, and it's hard to sometimes wake up in my own skin and feel like I am not beautiful enough. And the reason being, oh my god, the reason being is because of my skin tone. And that is something that a lot of people feel. So that's why this discussion of colorism, skin tone, and diversity on social media is so important. Because you never know how someone may feel. You never know that you may be influencing, a young girl, a young boy who really wants to have a voice and see who they can look up to someone who looks just like them. And the fact of the matter is, on YouTube and on a lot of social media, we do not see that. And I think that's a problem. And that is something that I think needs to be talked about in the Black community, because that does happen within the Black community, but that happens in general on a societal level, and that's something that needs to be further addressed. Single day in my life where, I can walk down the street and someone will tell me I'm beautiful, but for a dark skinned girl. I'm not beautiful because I'm me. I'm beautiful, but only for a certain type. Or I'm beautiful like, oh, you're dark skinned, but I guess you're okay. That's a comment I have to receive. And that's not fair. And you sort of play into that on social media. You may not be saying that like, oh, she's beautiful for a dark skinned girl. But when you praise a lot of, like maybe in a sense, like a lot of YouTubers who may not look dark skinned, you're still feeding into the idea that only maybe those who reflect, non-darker skinned POC are the most attractive or the most appealing for social media, the most appealing for, brand deals, the most appealing for increasing revenue, just appealing in general, any sort of like, social like comfort or social acceptance and what we aspire. And it still feels weird to, talk about it. It feels weird to think about. I'm in college and things, and, I think I'm very lucky in where I've experienced some of these issues, but not all of it, or to an extent that I know a lot of people have. But these are things that I still have to think about, and things that, matter and should be discussed. So, this video doesn't really have any direction or like, any clarity about, how can we change these things. But, bringing awareness and talking to more companies and say like, what, you have these content creators, and it's cool to talk about the fitness industry and be positive about it. It's cool to talk about fashion and be positive about it. But make sure when we're talking about these things, we're making them inclusive on multiple scales, multiple body types, multiple skin tones, and multiple ethnicities, multiple social identities, socioeconomic status included in that as well. Everyone comes from different backgrounds. We're not all made the same. But that doesn't mean that one group should be favored for another because it seems more socially appealing. So, that's all I kind of have to say about this topic. It's 10:30 at night. I gotta go back to studying French. But thank you guys so much for watching. I don't know if I'm gonna edit this video too much. I might edit it a bit, maybe make this a little bit nicer. But I just kind of want to get that out of my chest. But yeah, thank you guys so much, and I will see you guys with another video soon. All right, bye guys. Thank you guys so much.